Since Operation Enduring Freedom began 4 years ago, 254 service members have died. Since last March, CJTF 76 has completed more than 200 combat operations.
We're going to lead up with gun trucks in the back and in the front.
General Abizaid says he knows it's not easy, but he believes it's worth it.
I understand that the mission's dangerous. I understand it's difficult. But I also know that the war started here for all intents and purposes. The people that brought us 9/11 planned it from Afghanistan. And it's our duty and our mission to make sure that that never happens again. And the people of Afghanistan don't want it to happen again either.
The citizens of Afghanistan took some big steps in 2005 toward controlling their own destiny. Millions came out to vote in the September parliamentary elections.
Today is important. Today, the Afghan people select the representatives that will help develop the country. Since morning, more than 100 people have voted here. A very good turnout. No problems.
And in December, the newly elected parliament was seated. These milestones have made it possible for U.S. and coalition forces to make some significant changes for 2006. Pentagon officials say conditions have improved to the point where U.S. forces are now able to transfer some of the responsibilities. NATO plans to send up to 6,000 troops to Afghanistan. DoD officials say that means the U.S. troop level there will go from 19,000 to around 16,500.
What will that mean different for the American soldier that's serving in Afghanistan? It probably doesn't mean a lot different. We'll still be operating with robust combat forces. We'll still be doing patrolling. We'll still be doing our intelligence work. It has more to do with leadership change at the top than it has to do with leaving. And we shouldn't confuse NATO as being separate from the United States. It's certainly not. The United States is a NATO country. We'll be the leading NATO country ultimately in the NATO mission here, and we look forward to that transition.
General Abizaid and U.S. leadership believe we shouldn't look at our stay in Afghanistan as one that is dependent on a timetable. They say there are conditions that need to be met to stabilize that country.
There's still a terrorist element in this country and some Taliban diehards who apparently are slow learners. The job of the task force is to find these enemies, confront them directly, and take them out of commission.
Up next, we'll travel from the Horn of Africa to the Balkans to Central America to see how the U.S. military is guarding against terrorism and helping improve lives. Military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan tend to overshadow efforts elsewhere around the world. From the Horn of Africa, which is a key front in the war on terror, to the Balkans, where peacekeeping operations continue, to Central America, where beneficial field training also helps people in need. It may not get the attention of Iraq and Afghanistan, but U.S. military leaders say the Horn of Africa is considered another key front in the war on terror. As part of Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa, U.S. service members are heavily involved in the ongoing mission of making sure terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda are not allowed to establish a presence there. A big part of reaching that goal is strengthening the military capabilities of several African countries.
If we can build a foundation as we build our capacity building in the nations, we can build a better security, better stability, and a better life for the people who live there so they can have a process of self-determination.
However, strengthening the militaries is only one part of the work being done by U.S. service members in the Horn of Africa. Throughout the year, they're busy as well with several humanitarian projects. Everything from providing medical care to renovating schools.
And this right here is some of the stuff that we've been trying to fix up around here. There's little gouges like that all over the place.
For example, during this mission, Marines at Camp Lemonnier in Djibouti rolled up their sleeves and helped with rebuilding classrooms, getting them ready for the first day of school.
One of the main reasons for POA and Camp Lemonnier is to wage peace, and we're here at the school cleaning and preparing for opening day, waging peace.
2005 was also a busy year for airmen in Rwanda. In July, members of the 86th Air Expeditionary Group helped transfer Rwandan forces back and forth to Sudan, where the Rwandans conducted peacekeeping operations. Major General Michael Gould is the commander of 3rd Air Force.
We have 3 C-130E models here. We are flying 2 shuttles a day to get the troops moved up into the region. A big part of our effort down here is to help spur action by other African nations to participate. We have professionally trained airmen who do this kind of work all the time. It's a hard mission, but one that we're well trained for.
This mission has a lighter side as well. Airmen find the time to brighten up the lives of some children. On this day, they brought soccer balls, equipment, and other toys they had collected through donations. Scenes like this are typical of what U.S. service members often do when conducting humanitarian missions around the world. In Kosovo and Bosnia, U.S. service members are also answering the call for help. Throughout 2005, U.S. service members, along with those from other NATO nations, continued their work to maintain peace in Bosnia and Kosovo. But beyond that, the efforts that may have the most immediate impact involve the many ongoing humanitarian missions. Sometimes the missions are as simple as providing heating oil to a local children's center.
School is very limited here. Not too many people can afford to go to school or buy books or clothing.
Many service members say seeing the good their work is doing has given them a new perspective on what being in the military is all about.
Now I really know it is one team, one fight. We are one American family here, and this just proves it even more.
Oh, wow.
In Nicaragua, changing lives is a big part of what exercise New Horizons is all about. Since the mid-1980s, U.S. military personnel have visited several countries in need, using the visits as a way to train for future deployments. But the countries get something very valuable in return. During their trip to Nicaragua in 2005, reservists from the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines provided humanitarian and civil assistance in many different ways. The most pressing need is for medical care given by military doctors. During this 10-day exercise, more than 14,000 people were treated.
And she complained of stomach pain. This is a common complaint with these children, most likely from worms.
We see 75, 80-year-old women in flip-flops walking in the 100-degree heat to the 4 or 5 miles to a clinic with children on their backs, coming 3 or 4 hours to get the care they need.
Quality of life for people in Nicaragua is directly tied to the health of their animals. One of the keys to making sure people stay healthy is making sure their livestock is healthy.
They have a bunch of parasites of their liver and intestines. It'll kill those worms, and then the fleas, biting lice, maybe even ticks.
While the medical care helps people in the short run, service members help build a foundation for the future by building medical facilities.
As I look around, this is so far superior to what they have. And what I feel is that when the doctors and the nurses come here to assist these people, which I know they do, they will hopefully have a much better facility to give them the type of care that they deserve.
Anybody that does anything for anybody is very appreciated, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
4 schools are built as well, providing children an opportunity to learn and make a better life for themselves. As many service members discovered, people in Nicaragua, in some respects, are not any different than people in America.